Alright, hey, so I'm using my computer rather than my phone now, so it's fuzzy for some reason. I guess the camera just isn't as good. But, anyways, here's another book. Woo! Reading a lot of these, I guess. This one is called Henry's Awful Mistake. It's kind of interesting because I remember reading these when I was a kid, or having these read to me, and so it's, trippy or nostalgic reading them again. Alright. The day Henry the Duck asked his friend Clara over for supper, he found an ant in the kitchen. Henry was worried that Clara would see the ant. She might think his house was not clean. The ant had to go. Understand that? Henry reached for a can of ant spray, but he didn't want to spray near the food he was cooking, so he chased the ant with a frying pan. That seems like overkill, but that's just me. Henry ran around the kitchen, chasing after the ant, but the ant got away and hid behind the stove. Henry took the food he was cooking off the stove. Then he shut off the flame and pulled the stove away from the wall. He saw the ant. The ant saw Henry and ran into a small crack in the wall. Henry went and got a hammer. This just seems like... it's excessive, man. Henry pounded a big hole in the wall where the crack was, but he couldn't find the ant, so he kept on pounding. The hole got bigger and bigger. At last, Henry saw the ant sitting on a pipe inside the wall. Henry aimed the hammer at the ant and missed. The blow of the hammer broke the pipe. Water came shooting out of the pipe. Henry couldn't stop it. That's why you gotta plan stuff ahead, man. Henry grabbed a towel and tied it around the pipe, and the water stopped shooting out. But Henry hadn't stopped the water soon enough. It had sprayed all over the kitchen. Everything was soaking wet, except for Clara's supper, thank goodness. Henry began mopping up the puddles of water. All at once, he slipped and banged against the kitchen table. Everything came crashing down. Henry was covered with pots and pans and food. It's just a big mess. The supper was ruined. There was nothing Henry could do now but to call Clara and tell her not to come. While Henry was talking on the telephone, the towel came loose from the pipe. The water came shooting out and flooded the whole house. Henry was carried right out the front door by the flood. They just keeps getting worse. There was no going back. Poor Henry's house was washed away by the flood. He saved what he could and moved into a new house. At least he's, organized. When Henry was settled in his new house, he again asked Clara over for supper. Just as he went to the door to let Clara in, he saw an ant. Oh, where this is going. He looked the other way. Smart man, learn from your mistakes. Alright, I think I'm saying this at the start, but love you, little dude. Don't forget about me. Oh, remember me fondly. All that stuff.